series when you kind of throw out these crazy picks at the very, very end. And going into this one, look, I didn't know what to think about it, but with all of the other picks, yes, they have a lot of control. Zhuangzi will do a decent amount of just negating all of the CC pretty much from HBSC, but to be honest, I can't be like, oh yeah, this is an amazing pick, they're going to win.
Because we're not too sure what they're going to do with it.
I think at the very least, if you look at it at a constructive viewpoint, it counters the Animists on the hands of Tze. It counters the Musashi engage. It also counters Guiyu's approach in towards those big knockups towards the wall here. But everything boils down to whether it is executed properly by the hands of Zankyu in this Zhuangzi roam here. But without further ado, we go into game number 4 with BTR. Are they able to equalize the series? HBSE, this is your moment.
So I can't imagine like there will be a fast kind of jungle clear with this pick. Like it would have to be paired up, maybe helped by mid lane or some kind of bloodying system here.
I mean, they're going to have to figure something out, but as we go into this one, can Bigetron somehow equalize into this series off of this crazy Zankyu Zhuangzi pick that was really throwing everyone in a bit of a loop?
Throw me into a loop, throws everybody into the loop. Let's see if he throws BTR into the loop. Obviously, there has been a swap up lanes right now into the top side and bottom side of the map, obviously, in terms of trying to get some more resources over. It's clear to see here onto the side of and bot side of the map, obviously, in terms of trying to get some more resources over. It's clear to see here onto the side of BTR that they're going to make this Marco Polo their core, right? Like, that's, like, we saw this in KWC, obviously not the draft, but the play of making Zan, that Marco Polo was just incredible. So maybe this is just all to kind of aid the Marco Polo.
Yeah, but Zan, I mean, he needs to get that farm. Like, Marco Polo, there's going to be a lot relying on him in terms of this damage, right? Zankyu, I don't look as, like, more of, like, the damage dealer. You'll probably be, like, what sort of build are you going to go? Like a tanky style?
That's what we were discussing earlier, exactly, yeah. Like, do they go, like, a tank, but obviously, like Osagi says, do they go for the Insatiable Tome, so to get a bit of magic steal as well? Life steal from them, but I suppose only time will tell, right? Like, the shielding, obviously, from the ultimate is going to be pretty good into the team fight.
Yeah, and now Zankyu actually just all the way up in front. This is such a crazy lineup. I mean, he's already at half-life. Musan King doing some damage, dual death onto him, but it looks like they're going to just bait him out with that Sophie imprint, and they pull him back, but Zankyu is actually going to go down, but he trades his life away. Musan King, go, getting first blood.
Exactly, jungle for jungle, though, right? Like, that's definitely the trade you want to be going for here, but it wasn't quite as impressive as I thought it would be, right? Obviously, we've seen that the Zhuangzi has very little life health bars, but now, obviously, the takedown to the top side of the map here, VV onto this Chano is very much destroying here. We see Zhe as well, double kill coming through for VV.
Yeah, Zan going down on this one, and as well as Ormson, I mean, with Zhe on that. Like, this is not great for Bigetron. Like, Zan needs to stay alive. Zankyu especially. Like, both of these guys are your lifeblood. They're the reasons for your ability to win this game.
Maybe this is making sense on why Zankyu says, I'm going to make you look like the best jungler. Yeah. Because he's picked the Zhuangzi within one of these games.
He was telling the truth.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, which just caught everybody off guard because you're like, oh, is that really the way you want to do this? Like,
is this how you want to get your message across? Like, do you just want to let him get like 10 kills or something like that? Maybe that's the case, but we'll wait and see. The method to the madness is still yet to be clear to us as we watch this game.
Yeah, and now it looks like, again, I think Bigetron more than anything else need to just slow the game down. HBSE, it seems like they've been a little bit aggressive. They've been catching them out a couple times, but Zan in the top lane, with that lane swap, it looks like VV has made his way to the top to kind of counteract this.
Yeah, I suppose it maybe funnel over the Crimson Golem over to maybe Zan at one point, but it's going to be Zankyu getting it this time around. But obviously, we see the Giant Script come through as well as the Blazing Cape also for the anti-kill.
Yeah, and now it looks, again, very slow, steady. Musan King, he's consistently just farming. He's outpacing Zankyu at this point, which
is not surprising.
Yeah, it's not surprising, especially with the Zhuangzi, but at the same time, it looks like they're funneling the farm into Zankyu here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have to, right? I mean, he's going across the gorge, like, no one can really follow him. Like, if he decides to kind of, like, adopt Zan as, like, a somebody that draw, like, buddy system alone, then his top side of the map's just going to fall.
Yeah, that would be huge for them. I mean, going into this, Bigetron, on the other hand, if you're seeing, like, again, Top Z dealing with Guiyu, this is going to be another one that's kind of interesting, because Sun Tzu isn't the greatest, but the Tyrant, this is going to be a key marker for this one. Half-Life already, taking Liberty is going to be dodged out. Musan King gets the smite.
No contestation. No contestation. Obviously, the Fever Barrage being used here just for an escape.
Zahn getting to safety. The Soaring Signal was not enough damage, and now VV in the top lane.
Not enough damage just yet, though. Like, as soon as he gets that itemization, that Soaring Shot's going to definitely be hurting that Marco Polo. And I mean, even to the point where if you don't have the cleanse, you're going to knock him out the ultimate.
Yeah, and going into this one, Bigetron now looks like taking liberties, actually pulling back Ormson. He HeartLinks back to safety. HBSE, though, use that space to go for the top tower instead.
Yeah, I mean, we know that obviously picks like the Shurk can actually do damage. Obviously, it doesn't seem as impactful or even like as impressive as most of the mid lanes, but you're really relying on Zahn to be the most big damage output of this team comp, right? Like, if he falls, what are you going to do?
You're going to completely crumble, and that's my problem, right? Like, everything, you will just completely just lose out. This is not a great situation, so it's even more pressure onto Zahn to ensure that he stays alive, but he's able to farm. He hasn't really done that.
No, he hasn't. I mean, the XP lead is both in the same kind of flavor here, the same kind of battleground, but there it is. Obviously, some resources going over to Zahn right now.
Yeah, it's got to be. I would literally funnel everything into him.
Yeah.
Zanq, just like let him do his tanky things. I mean, just get a little bit, but it's a 4 protect 1 strategy here.
Yeah, protecting Marco Polo is probably going to be the point of concession here for these two teams. Maybe try and get this push down to the bot side of the map, take this T1. Really put the pressure on here, but it looks like it's going to be traded for that top side as well.
Taking it away, Vivi will use that free space and just go right in and look at out of sight by Zhe. This is another interesting one with that stealth, but now Zanq is shown up. He's going to take all these minions.
Yeah, so both of the first neutral objectives do go to the side of the HBSE for now. So already starting to show the weakness of the Zhuangzi into the jungle.
Yeah. Now Bigetron back into the mid lane here. This is, I think even all the lanes get Zahn going. Let him just go from lane to lane and just take everything as much as possible because, I mean, he's 500 gold behind VV, which Chano's a little bit more stable in that sense, but you're also having to deal with the fact that they have a Musan King Musashi, also very scary.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much dive potential onto Zahn as well, right? Like, only one cleanse is going to really mitigate a lot of that. I suppose you can kind of see the Zhuangzi is just basically a second cleanse, really, for Marco Polo. So if he wants to go in and use that ultimate, the Fever Barrage, but then use the CC immunity from Zanq Zhuangzi here, and then have that cleanse a little later on, maybe? I don't know why. I'm trying to make sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to make sense of madness and at this point because it's new, right? But here comes the board. They have a 3 inside that one. Guyu, though, gets the potential run away. Now it looks like they want to continue on. Zanq is still up in front, and he just, oh man, like it's so weird when you see like when you see Musashi running in, Duel Death, it looks amazing, like this swordsman going in, but then you see Zanq like charging at you and you're like, oh, that's so cute.
I want to pet his clothes, you know what I mean? I want to pet whatever he's riding on there, the little sheep or whatever it is right now, but yeah, it's not threatening. It's definitely not threatening. If anything, it may just lull me into a false sense of security.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're looking to go for this one. They find Musan King. They do a little bit of damage there in terms of that stun, but he duels his death. He tries to go for the back line, but he's not able to do enough. And now with the run back on this one, they do end up finding Musan King Bigetron with a huge pickoff.
Very huge pickup here. Obviously, kills being filled over to the side of Zahn.
Yeah, and now it looks like HBSE not able to get anything out of this one. I thought they were potentially going to go with Jez out of sight, but they didn't really want to commit.
No, not committing there just yet. It is going to be BTR or even BSE. But obviously they do have the T1s traded for each other. They have the kill go to the side of BTR. They are currently matched in terms of kills, but this is just, again, just another HBSE classic, right? They have the gold lead, which generally converts into the victory later on.
Yeah, but they haven't taken the bottom T1 or the mid one, which is a little bit different, right? It looks like Bigetron have done a better job of kind of holding. Yes, the net worth lead is about 2K in favor of HBSE, but having those towers, absolutely key.
Oh, absolutely. Having turrets here is going to be a huge key moment for the side of BTR, and they get the takedown to the bot side here. VV is it's going to be a colossal scaling into the late game here for that Chano if he's uncontested.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We haven't seen too much of him. On the other hand, Zahn, aside from his early death, he's been largely quiet too. That's exactly where you want your farm laners to be. You want him to not ever call his name until he's ready to go into those team fights later in the game.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, right now, HomeBois Blackstreet Esports with the Musashi, with the Chano. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around a bit this Zhuangzi. So obviously the soaring shot, normally if you're at like a jungle, getting hit back could be a problem here. They have a lot of CC onto the side of HBSE, so it's really got to be all around the fact of the CC immunity, right? Like, was he just too scared to pick anything else that it was actually not going to work?
No, but I think that they kind of pigeonholed themselves by picking the Diadea early, right? And they thought that that would be enough, but then they were like, okay, actually, they're stacking stuns. This is a problem, right? And so ZonQ, all he needs to do, again, is just stay alive, and then cleanse everything, and then make sure that Zon is there on cleanup. That's the optimal way of dealing with this, and you're kind of not utilizing ZonQ's, capacity, I would say, as an amazing jungler, but it's more for the team.
Yeah, he's kind of like, hey, you've got to play the backseat now.
Yeah.
And now we're going to let Zon try and do the job and get us a victory because you've done your job. We got a victory in game number 3 because of you, but now the Illuminate Slash being used here.
Yeah, but I like it, right? You want to try new things out, right? If there's going to anything at this point, win or lose, we're going to ask Bigetron, of course, like basically, like, what does he think about this? What was the thought process behind this? Who made this call? And now with that box, they actually have ZonQ stuck in this one, but TUFZ misses the boat. He's actually taking a lot of damage. He flashes, not enough. BB snipes him out.
Yes, not where you really want to be funneling those kills into, or even this Tyrant, especially a Shadow one, is when VV is level 13, and he is on no signs of stopping now.
Yeah, and so this is also the problem with the Sunset just in general, right? Oh, but here comes the duel. That nice two-man stun. He might have gone a little too far, and Musan King gets picked off. Oh, the Silk Orb onto Guyu, who's taking a lot of damage as well, and they walk into a disaster. And dare I say, the butterfly effect negating a lot of that.
Yeah, it was obviously clearly maybe showing a bit of a method to the madness here. You are giving that second CC immunity over and a bit of a cleanse ability to Zon on this Marco Polo, because realistically, that Purify is only going to save you from so much CC.
Yeah, but this could potentially, I mean, the way that they were going in, HBSE, that's smart. You had a nice two-man potential, but now the board, they find Orms and they instantly delete him. No real chance, and ZonQ is going to be killed as well. And now with that boat, TUFZ is trying to go in. The Fever Barrage doing some work, and he's going to take 2 members down. And this killing spree, and now Jiong is going to be there, but Zon is going to be on the run.
He's just got to defend this mid T1, right? Like, if he leaves that 4, then that's kind of just like a bit of a useless point to take those 2 kills, right? You may as well just back off, not have tried to do it, but it looks like that T2 is going to fall down here, and just more and more pressure going onto the side of BTR.
Yeah, I mean, Zon salvaging, right, at that point. Checking out this replay, you see exactly kind of how this one played out, but ZonQ dying early, that was huge.
Yes, exactly. It was kind of like taking the bait there and maybe just trying to take the flag away from Zon, but into the back line there, and now he's going in, obviously just waiting for the key moment there, but just diving in with the dash and then the Fever Barrage onto VV.
And this is no fault to TUFZ. I think that he's in a tough situation because of the fact that he's on the Sun Tzu. Like, you see, if you're pinpoint accurate and you're like a sniper with that boat, great. But the way that HBSC have been positioning, it's like it's largely been mitigated. It's been whiffed, or it's been missing quite a bit. So the value that you're getting out of it is very little.
It is very little, but maybe they can turn it into a big value after a certain time, right? I mean, you see here the Cloud Piercer being built here by the Marco Polo, so in terms of late game damage can come through, but there's just no real contest for these neutral objectives, which kind of like defeats the purpose of having like this kind of jungle, right? Like, yes, it's going to do good into team fights, but if your enemy team keeps taking these neutral objectives and getting increased damage and pressure onto your lanes, how are you going to overcome that if you're only taking like maybe 1-2 members in a team fight?
That's a good question. To be honest, I don't really know. I'm thinking the only logical explanation, ZonQ is like, hey, my name starts with the letter Z. Let's pick a hero with the letter Z as well. It's going to be Zhuangzi. We're going to pick this one just to kind of style on.
Is either Zhuangzi or John Fei jungle?
Not going to, we're going to go with the Zhuangzi.
You know, like, make sense of it. Make it actually a good pick that could go into the jungle here. Not to, obviously, discourage this pick. It is creative nonetheless.
I mean, it saved them a couple times in the team fight. I mean, in theory, it had that potential, but it's just not tanking enough. Look how much damage it's taking. I mean, the CC immunity, great, but they actually find a decent amount with Guyu, who actually just, Formless is back to safety, but this Vanguard is doing a little bit of work, and VP with the soaring signals just doing too much damage from afar.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, like the damage is only really coming from Zon here.
Oh, Jay, trying to go in for this one. TUFZ is about half life. Jeong is a little bit low themselves, but looks like Bigetron are going to hold.
Yep, they're going to hold out at that base for now, but there's the Vanguard top side of the map there, just trying to get a bit of pressure onto this side of ETR, but it's not going to be enough, but it's going to be enough to drive them away so they can get this free Shadow Tyrant.
Yeah, they'll take this one. I think they'll be very happy. Bigetron, on the other hand, understanding that, hey, we can take the top side, sensing that one out. I mean, they see the marker now with that Tyrant being taken. So this could be another just opening for HBSE to constantly just play their game. Just push them out, choke them out.
Choke it, yeah. Put him in a headlock, you know, give him a bit of a noogie on the top of the head, you know what I mean? Just rub it in. But right now, you can see here the damage dealt is all coming from VV and Sohang here just shortly. I mean, the difference, 71k, 74k, 49k. Like, if this was like working as an actual draft to funnel everything into Zhang, it would be much higher than these guys, but it just isn't because there's just too much damage onto the side of HBSE.
Too much damage, and you're kind of thinking like, okay, at what point are Bigetron able to negate this, get their own farm, and like 20 minutes maybe? Like, I don't even know if they have enough time to do that because they just lost the bottom T3 as well.
Yeah, 15 minutes onto the clock here, and obviously T3's falling left, right, and center potentially here for the side of BTR. Dankyu into the backline, just driving away Sohang long enough to wait for the minion wave of the enemy team to come through again.
Yeah, and they're going to go slow and steady. I mean, Bigetron, I have a decent amount of wave clear. The Zhongsu also has Kaleidoscope, which with those, you know, whatever those things are, normally they're butterflies. You can do some, you have some decent wave clear, but now here's a taking liberties, and they will push them back. But again, Bigetron just looking to kind of just hold the fort, but the Crystal's taking some damage.
Yep, the Crystal, the minions are just trying to push through here with those enhanced minions for now. Doing a lot of damage onto the Crystal, considering HBSE was nowhere near it.
Yeah, nowhere near it at all. Zonku at a half-life, so if they want to make the jump, this might be the moment for that one, but now they're going to back off. The Heartlink on by Ormson will help with the sustain, but I think in the end, the Crimson buff was taken away by VV.
Oh, absolutely. Taken away by VV here for now. Just adding to that damage output on the side of HBSE. And we're looking at around about, what, a 5k gold difference here, which comes at around about the 16-minute mark. So looking quite negligible, but it's already sort of like showing the flavor of HBSE's draft, right? Obviously, we've already seen the damage chart where VV and Sohang are at top, and now they have the Shadow Overlord. Looking for potential, maybe last final push here onto that base.
That bottom lane is quite a number of minions there. That's going to be tough, but now Bigetron looking to just deal with the top lane as quickly and shift their way bottom. That is definitely a hole, a gaping hole in their base. This is going to be, again, just like a long, drawn-out fight by HBSE, constantly knocking on the door.
Constantly knocking back on the door here is going to be HSBC. They are a bit like nuisance callers, right? They're just like, hey, can you open the door, please? We really want to come in and have a cup of tea. But right now, BTR just aren't being as hospitable as they should be.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. These are unwanted guests, right? They're like, I don't want you guys in here. We're gonna take this one out. We're gonna defend to the bitter end. We're gonna just fortify ourselves in. But the mid T3 being taken away, and now the board. Now they have a nice little connection. Oh, the truth! Guyu going in, setting it up, but he's stuck under the tower. He's gonna be killed. Zanku gets credit for that one, and now it looks like they want to go in with that Fever Barrage, but Zan has been killed. The damage is just too much. Now it's been taken out, and Musan King needs to be a little bit careful. He might have been picked off, but Zanku going down now, and Ormson looking to be next on this one, and it looks like HBSC will take game 4 and the series, and they will move on to the knockout stage.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be HSBE. HBSE. There we go. I said it right after that one. It's